think it's working. People are here. I'm here. Hopefully you can hear okay. I am again at Sant'Eustachio. Hi Robin. Hi Laura. Hi Monica. Hi Linda. Hi Kathy. Maryland. All right. Kathleen. Good, you can hear. Good morning to Vermont. So I'm back on 2 devices. Hi Amy. Today. Good, you can hear me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So I've been experimenting, trying to get just one device to do everything, and it hasn't worked out too well yet. I think it's because, oh hey John, Detroit, AJ Catapan, hi, buongiorno, Richard in Mexico, people from all over. Oh, Kiara, you're going to order their coffee. Several people did. They ordered coffee from Sant'Eustachio after I was here. It really is my favorite place for coffee here in Rome. And they do have stuff available online. You can go to their website, you can follow them on Instagram, and you can order their coffee. Oh, Honduras. Very nice. North Carolina, Delaware. Good. All over. All right. So, welcome to Second Cup Saturday. Ciao. How are you? Good. How are you? Yeah, I'm live. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
The boss's daughter again.
How are you?
Good.
You called me, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi. Yeah, but
I don't want to.
now I'm live. I'll talk to you after. Okay. All right. So she is the owner's daughter. And so she said hi to you. So, like I was saying, Second Cup Saturday. This is our 4th or 5th episode, I think. Um, and I wanted to go to a bunch of different cafes. And the truth is, I don't know how much longer we'll be able to go out at all. So I wanted to come back here again because it's one of my favorites. Um, so I will eventually, as these continue, go to other cafes around Rome so you can see other areas, and I'll order something different. I got a cappuccino again because I don't know how much longer I'll get to have cappuccino. So, yeah, Sant'Eustachio, right by the Pantheon. The Pantheon's just right on the other side of the building in front of me. And Piazza Navona is a little bit behind me, so it's a very centrally located place. You can see it's a very popular place. On most days during normal times, there's a huge line here, and the inside is packed. But of course, right now, there's not a lot of people here in Rome. So that brings me to virus updates. So the coronavirus update for Rome. If you've been following along, uh, it's been getting worse and worse. A week or so ago, they split Italy split into 20 regions, and they assigned them all different levels, 3 levels: yellow, orange, and red. Yellow being things are okay, orange things are getting bad, red things are really bad. And so where we are in Rome, Lazio, it's one of 5. Oh, hi Irish. It's one of 5 remaining yellow zones. So we're in one of the only safe zones right now. So we're surrounded by orange and red. So where Naples is, um, which kind of plays into what I'm going to tell you in a minute. So where Naples is, that region is red zone, and so that has a strict lockdown. Where Venice is, they're yellow still, but they have kind of their own rules. Tuscany, where Florence and Siena are, that is now red as of yesterday. Umbria, where Assisi is, that's orange. And so it just kind of feels like red is coming to Rome because, again, it's one of only 5 regions that's still safe. And so people are getting out while they can, not out like out of Rome, but out of their house. Um, and, whereas our first lockdown, which was nationwide, it was throughout the whole country, was very strict, and it came down from the prime minister, I guess. Um, Now they're leaving it up to the regions, kind of like how you're doing in the States, where each state kind of decides what they're going to do. And so the region, the country can tell a whole region, like you're red now. But within those regions, they can kind of declare what people can and can't do. So in Venice right now, as I mentioned, they're yellow, so they're the safe zone, like Rome. But they have restricted walking through like historic areas. So even if you live there, unless you have a really good reason to go around, that's it. That's it.
That's it. You want sugar?
No. Yeah. So in Venice, you can't walk around the historic regions. Oh, that's it.
Are you allergic to nuts? No.
See if I have an allergy to nuts. Um, I got the big cappuccino. Very good. I love their cappuccino. What was I saying? Oh, the regions. So yeah, Venice, you can't walk around unless you have a valid reason for being out. And so in all the regions right now, they can. Kathleen, you're asking the name of the place. It's called Sant'Eustachio. You can see it behind me, but I think it's backwards because of the way the camera works. Sant'Eustachio. It'll be on my website because I post all of these on my website and on YouTube afterwards, so you can see the name of the cafe, and then you can go there and buy their coffee. So some of the restrictions that they have now for the whole country is they can monitor the situation. So we have helicopters checking to make sure piazzas aren't getting too crowded. Ooh, South Africa's here. Nice. In the Philippines. We have in Rome, all restaurants, cafes, bars have to shut down by 6 p.m. And then after that, restaurants can stay open for takeout. So that hasn't changed in the last week or so. It's been that way the whole time. Um, but if we go up a level, they can make it even more strict. Like things have to close earlier. I think in some regions you can only have like alcoholic beverages or coffees if you're standing. No, sitting. You have to sit. So none of like now you could have a drink standing at the bar or outside. So it's just getting more and more strict. So again, that is why, for those of you who's joining, I am again at Sant'Eustachio today. I was here a few weeks ago, and since it is one of my favorite cafes in Rome, I wanted to get here before they completely shut us down again. So I ordered large cappuccino, and some purists will say you can never have a cappuccino after lunchtime. I think that's nonsense. And people really don't care. Um, like, there's Italians all around me because Italy's close to tourists, really. And they're drinking cappuccino too, so it doesn't really matter. So, large cappuccino. Now, one thing that Sant'Eustachio does, first of all, they really care about their coffee. So they get, the virus, after 6 o'clock, the virus is active. It's a silly rule, I know. Really, the reason they do that is because more people are off of work after 6 p.m. And so more people gather in the bars and they have the aperitivi. And so it's not that the virus isn't active after 6 p.m., it's that more people are gathering. And that's also why we have some restrictions on the weekend, like shopping malls are closed on the weekend. So that's what it is. It's just when people gather, they want to keep the crowds low. Anyway, I was talking about Sant'Eustachio. They care about their beans, coffee beans, and so they make sure that they have good stuff. And so that's why you can order it here. Like a lot of cafes, they use other brands like Illy Cafe or Lavazzo. They don't have like their own roast, but Sant'Eustachio does. And so you can order it on their website. But what I love about Sant'Eustachio, and this isn't a commercial for Sant'Eustachio, like I'm going to pay for this. It's not free. The whole point of the Second Cup Saturday is to tell you about different cafes and coffee culture. Um, but what they do is when they're making their cappuccino or espresso, when it's coming through the coffee maker, they add the sugar, and so it comes out very frothy and already sweetened. And so I really like that. But they have other things too. They have iced tea in the summer months. Really, really good iced tea, which you can't order because that's just made fresh in the house. They have really nice coffee cups too. So their colors are yellow. You can see the yellow little cafe sign behind me. And so they have these yellow coffee cups, yellow cappuccino cups, yellow espresso cups. So really good branding. And they also are now making tote bags out of coffee bags. And they use labor. I don't remember who she said makes them. I don't know. Do I have a second cup on Saturday? Father asks. I have second cups all the time. And to be honest, usually by the time second cup Saturday rolls around, because it's 3:30 here, this would be like my third cup. I just call it second cup because I like the way it sounds. But I have my first cup super early because I wake up usually in the fours. I have coffee then, and I usually have coffee a little later, like in a normal morning, like 9 a.m. or so. Just made a cappuccino. Good. Um, yes, the daughter of the owner was on Instagram with me a couple weeks ago. Uh, she's very shy with her English. Her English is perfect, but she's shy about it, so she doesn't like to talk to the camera. But she came out last week and showed some pictures of the original cafe. It used to be called Coffee and Milk. Um, anyway, so that's kind of our virus updates. More restrictions. People are a little more nervous. I didn't check the numbers for yesterday, but a couple days ago we had like 40,000 new cases, and the deaths are going way up. Now, over the last week, the rate of infection has lowered, which is good, and the ICUs, there's a lot less patients. Not a lot, but there's fewer patients. So hopefully some of the restrictions they've already added are helping. But Ryan, you're talking on the wrong one. Ryan is commenting on how I look on camera because of the phone I'm using, but he's talking to the wrong phone. You're on Instagram. The other phone is on Facebook. What else to talk about? I see somebody asked about furniture. Every time I'm on Second Cup Saturday, furniture comes up because the very first episode, we just got back from IKEA. The next episode, we had ordered furniture. The next episode, it still hadn't arrived. The next episode, we had it. So all of our furniture is here. It's all put together. We bought a few things from IKEA to kind of make the place our own because we haven't had our own furniture since we moved here 7 years ago. We are missing a closet for the girls. So the apartments here, they have like big wardrobes. They don't have like walk-in closets or built-in closets. And the place we have, it came with a very old armoire, and the doors were falling off. And these doors weigh like 30 pounds, really heavy, solid wood. And so the owners said that we could get rid of it. Like, we have to do it ourselves. We have to take it apart and dispose of it. It's huge. It's like 10 feet tall and maybe 15 feet wide, all solid wood. So that'll be fun to take apart and get rid of. But they said we could replace it. So we're just going to get something at IKEA. But the thing that we found at IKEA, we can order it online and it'll be delivered, but they don't have the feet. And so we're waiting on that. And I'm hoping that they get the feet in before another lockdown, because last time IKEA was closed, and so even if we had ordered, we couldn't have gotten anything. I don't think. I don't know. I didn't check that. But it seems silly to order this whole thing if you can't put it together yet. Jennifer says, my hair is perfect today. Thank you. I haven't done anything with it. Usually I'm always messing with my hair. Um, but tell her thank you. So yeah, we need an armoire for the girls, and then we'll have everything we need. If you were watching Tipsy Tuesday, on Tuesday, my wife joined me, Christina, and we kind of talked about Rome through her eyes, how she's felt living here and moving over here. Because I did that a while back, kind of from my perspective, and I thought it'd be good for her to tell her side because things are different for her. And you can watch that. It's on my website, thecatholictraveler.com, and it's also on my YouTube page. I'm going to put a jacket on because it's getting cold. Um, so anyway, on that episode, we talked about how for the patrons, for my Patreon people, we are going to do a cooking class as a live. And we're probably going to do that next week. She's going to be teaching people how to make amatriciana, so a very traditional dish here in Rome and amatriccia, but very good pasta. It's a red sauce, has guanciale in it, and so she's going to do that live um, probably next week. So if you're not a patron yet, you should sign up, and you can do that through my website as well. But I'm excited for that because I'm excited to see her do a cooking class. So we have to get the kitchen all ready. We have to figure out when we're going to do it too. Yeah, Ryan, you got it right. So we have to figure out when to do the cooking. I guess we're going to cook for our dinner, but it would be your lunch maybe. Um, did I miss part? I'm reading the comments here. Did I miss part of the story? Have I lived in the same apartment for 7 years? No. You did miss the story. So there's another video where I talk about all the different apartments. But when we moved over, we lived with the guy. No, I'm using a mic. Can you not hear? They're both mic'd. Sorry if it's not too good. Yeah, when we moved over, the guy who owns the hotel I use for my groups let us stay with him. And then we moved to an apartment for a year. Then we moved to another apartment for a year. So the place we're in now, we've been in for, I guess, 4.5 years. But we just had the furniture that came with the apartment. Somebody said the person behind them wore the mask under their nose is bothering. So we don't have to wear masks when we're seated. So people just kind of pull them down. So it's echoish. I'm sorry. So large cappuccino. It's already almost gone. What else to talk about? They gave me a chocolate, which I'll eat later. Uh, the mask should be over covering her nose. Yeah, we do have mask regulations. So we have to wear masks everywhere, outside even, anytime you're in a public place, except when you're at a restaurant um, eating or drinking. So that's why I'm not wearing one. The people around me are not wearing them. People walking by are wearing them. So those are the regulations. And I went to St. Peter's yesterday, and I have a mask that it's a real mask, but it's kind of almost bandana shaped, has like a thing that hangs over, and they wouldn't let me wear it in. They said I had to wear the medical grade, so the kind you see around me with like the blue. I think that kind of depends who is at the door, because there were people in there with cloth masks, but I think they just didn't want like a bandana type mask. So luckily I had one with me because I always have a lot of backups. I have like a whole bag of extra masks in my bag because they get dirty. And so, yeah, so even not only do you have to wear masks everywhere, but sometimes they're picky about what type of mask you're wearing. I saw a question. Where was it? About the schools. So yeah, we homeschool. So this has not affected us at all. The only thing that's been an issue for us is that because we homeschool, we order our books from America, and when the U.S. went to schooling from home, not really homeschool, but schooling from home, a lot of people switched over to traditional homeschool. And so there was this big rush on the books. And so it was really hard for us to get some of our textbooks. Um, but here, they've restricted high school. They've made it home what's it called? Remote learning only. Oops, the table. Um, so yeah, and I think some schools are doing like 1 week on, 1 week off, so 1 week in the classroom, 1 week at home, and yeah, so that's all I know. And even like our kids are both in confirmation classes, and they're rotating those now. So one is at the church, and then one is at home, and it looks like they're kind of switching over everything to home. But some things are still going on, like scouts. My kids' scouts, they have a big thing tomorrow, so that's still going on. What else? News of a potential vaccine. The same news that you have back in the States. They're keeping up with that here. Will we be having traditional turkey for Thanksgiving? No, we won't be having turkey. A friend of ours at the embassy actually offered to get us a butterball turkey, but our freezer's not big enough to hold it. Our freezer holds like one ice cube tray, and um, like that's it. That's all it holds. So we wouldn't have enough room to store it. And she was going back to the States, so we won't have turkey. We'll have something. We'll do something. A couple of years ago, my wife and youngest daughter went back to the States, and so my oldest daughter and I wanted to make sweet potatoes, and we walked all over Rome looking for sweet potatoes, and we finally found them, but it was quite the adventure. So usually now for Thanksgiving, we try to go back to the U.S., which we can't do this year. Um, Otherwise, we just have like tacos or something, because that's a treat here. Because cheddar is very expensive in Rome. Um, which cafe? We're at Sant'Eustachio, right by the Pantheon. Yeah, Pantheon is in front of me. You can't see it from here, but there's a church in front of me called Sant'Eustachio, and it's on the other side of that. Um, Thanksgiving tacos. Yeah, that's what my wife said. So we'll probably be having tacos. What else? I usually talk about church stuff too, like what's going on in the church. But if you keep up with that, you know that it's a mess. So the McCarrick report came out last week, and the Vatican did a really good job in releasing it because it deals mostly with American bishops and cardinals. So they released it when the U.S. is having all this drama surrounding the election. So a lot of people just kind of missed it. So I don't have much to say on that right now. It's a mess. Um, what else? The audiences, I think I mentioned this last week, they've moved to be without the people now, so there's no more papal audiences for the public. And the Pope's having a Mass tomorrow at St. Peter's, Mass for the poor. So that's the church news. So, I don't know what else to say. We're coming up on 30 minutes. Do you have any more questions? I usually try to keep this at 30 minutes. Advent. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Advent. So, for the last 3 or 4 years, we've gone to the Christmas markets for Advent. So we've gone to like Austria, France, Germany, Switzerland, and it's become our favorite thing to do because it's really like our only vacation because I'm always working. And anytime I'm not working and we have a little break, we go to the U.S. And so it's our one like family vacation every year. We just go up to the Christmas markets, and that's not going to happen this year. The one in Piazza Navona, which is terrible, but that's been canceled. I think the ones in France have been officially called off. The ones in Vienna, they were holding off and saying that they were going to still happen, but I don't think they are. So we'll see. But we do still in Rome have all of the nativities. And so I saw one near my house. It's one of the big ones in an apartment building. A couple Monsignors live in the building. And so they have this very elaborate whole town nativity. So that's coming up. They're putting those together. The churches are working on theirs. The Vatican's working on theirs. Um, they're kind of preparing the spot for it. So I'm excited about that. And I will be, as long as we can go out, I will be taking you to see a lot of the nativities because the churches really do go just crazy with their nativities. And you have to see them to really understand. So I'll be doing that in a couple weeks. Someone's asking how to order Christmas cards from Christina. So my wife used to have a birth announcement Christmas card business called Metro Baby Cards, and she hasn't really done anything for years because we've lived here, but she still gets orders from time to time. But that's metrobabycards.com. So if you wanted to order her Christmas cards, you can do that. It's very good work she does. Kathy's talking about the nativities. Yeah, they have moving parts. So some of these nativities, they have they go from night to day, sunrises. The one inside St. Peter's actually snows. So every 15 minutes or so, it'll start snowing. Some of them have rivers that run through. Some have fires. Uh, it's really amazing to see. Yeah, the Piazza Navona market is terrible. And some people say it's like mafia run or something. So there was a big something with it last year where they didn't approve it. So I don't think it happened last year. Maybe it finally did open. I don't know. But it's terrible. Italy could do a lot better. Uh, what else? When can you travel here again? I have no idea. No idea. Um, when all this first started, it was the winter, so we locked down in March. And I was sure that by June, people would be traveling again. And obviously that didn't happen. And then once we reopened in the summer, I was like, oh, by the fall, people are going to be back. That didn't happen. And now, of course, it's worse again. So who knows when you'll be able to visit Italy again. There are still some tourists in Rome. I've seen a lot of Russians the last few days, which I think is odd. Um, I didn't know that. I thought that Russia was one of the countries that wasn't allowed to visit, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, so yeah, there are still some tourists, but it's pretty empty. You see a lot of people behind me going to this cafe, but if I walk over to the Pantheon in a few minutes, there'll be nobody there. The Pantheon's closed. Piazza Navona, there's nobody there. St. Peter's, when I was there the other day, there were 3 people in the whole church, plus the workers. There are 20 workers, like security and ushers or whatever, but just 3 people. And this was at 9:30 in the afternoon or in the morning. So it's kind of weird here. You can tell people are nervous, thinking that another lockdown is coming. But at the same time, people are out trying to enjoy things while they can. Because if you recall, we were locked at home for 55 days, and we could only go out to go to the grocery store. So we want to avoid that again. And people are just enjoying Rome. So if you don't have more questions, I will wrap it up. Um, Thank you to all my patrons again. I couldn't, I couldn't be living here right now without you, so that's a big help. Um, I'm going to try to do a live walk soon. Uh, I did a couple tests over the last few days because I wanted to test out a few different ways to do it, and they were all pretty much terrible. So I'm still working on a solution for that because, well, just because. So we'll see what happens. But watch out for that. I'll let you know when I'm going to do a live walk again. Tipsy Tuesday's coming Tuesday. If we're not locked down, it'll be from a bar somewhere. If we are locked down, it'll still happen. It'll just be from home. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm at Sant'Eustachio. You can go to their website. You can follow them on Instagram. You can order their coffee. Really good stuff. And now I'm going to go home. So, ciao. Talk to you soon.